Let's be honest, taking supplements is not fun. Until now. There is a new generation of nutraceuticals that aim to be both delicious and effective. So in today's video, we're going to cover 5 supplements that genuinely change your skin for the better, but which are also really enjoyable to take. None of this is sponsored, and it is all backed by science. So a quick hello if you're new here. My name is Fiona and I'm a registered nutritionist with a master's degree in nutritional medicine. On this channel, we talk about how to eat for great skin, because true skincare starts on your plate. If you haven't already, please consider hitting the subscribe button because it really helps the channel. Kicking off with our first supplement, which is Ancient & Brave's Cacao and Collagen. Now, in case you haven't noticed, collagen is pretty huge right now, and it does have some reasonable data behind it, showing that taking collagen peptides can help to reduce fine lines and wrinkles and boost your skin's elasticity and hydration. It's also one of those supplements that once people start taking, they generally tend to swear by it. Now, I have taken various forms of collagen over the years, but by far and away my favorite is this one, the Ancient & Brave Cacao and Collagen. What they've done is mix bovine collagen peptides, so that's collagen peptides from beef, with cacao and various other fruit powders to create a drink that basically tastes like hot chocolate. It is rich and warming and just the right amount of sweet, and it honestly feels so indulgent. Now what I do is heat up a mug of cashew milk typically, and I do this in the microwave because it's quick and this is real life, and then I stir in 2 teaspoons of the cacao and collagen powder and stir vigorously, and it's literally ready in under 2 minutes. I genuinely look forward to this drink every day. As well as the collagen, I love that this powder is rich in fiber, so it's feeding my good bacteria, which also has a knock-on positive effect on my skin. And I also love that the cacao has some anti-aging potential in its own right. Now it does have one drawback, which is that the dose of collagen peptides is slightly lower than I would like. So research suggests that taking somewhere between 2.5 and 5 grams of collagen peptides per day can have an effect on your skin. This contains 2 grams, so it's slightly under, but in practice all that really means is that it might take slightly longer to see the effects, but because it's so tasty, that really doesn't matter. You are going to keep having it. Now, collagen is generally regarded as pretty safe, but please remember that these recommendations aren't personalized to you, so check in with your doctor before you start collagen or any of the other supplements mentioned in this video. Moving on to our second supplement, which is the Manifesto Beauty Gummies. I'll be honest, I was pretty skeptical about gummies for a long time. I thought they were pretty gimmicky, but formulations have come a long way and now they're actually pretty sophisticated. And I also know from working with clients that if you give them nutrients in a gummy form, they are way more likely to continue taking them, which is ultimately how they're going to be effective. Now, these gummies from Manifesto are genuinely delicious. I'm not even particularly into sweets, but I love them. They have a lovely cherry flavor and the perfect sweet-like texture. And actually, because they are so much like sweets, it's kind of mind-blowing to think that they're good for you and your skin, but they really are. There are a few nutrients in here, but I think the 2 worth focusing on are astaxanthin and retinol acetate. So astaxanthin is a natural compound with powerful anti-aging potential. I've done a whole video on astaxanthin here, but the bottom line is that it can minimize wrinkles, even out your skin tone, and boost your skin's own natural defenses against the sun. Now, taking 2 of these gummies daily will give you 4 milligrams of astaxanthin, which is a known effective dose. The other ingredient, retinol acetate, is interesting. That is a form of vitamin A. Now, if you look at supplement ingredients labels, most supplements contain vitamin A in the form of beta carotene. Now, your body needs to convert that beta carotene into a usable form of vitamin A, but retinol acetate is already in the usable form, so it's a way more efficient and effective way to feed your skin. It's not suitable for pregnant women though, so do bear that in mind. I've also done a whole video on vitamin A and why it matters for your skin. The bottom line is that if you want clear and youthful looking skin, you need to be getting enough. And again, I will pop that video up there for you. I also love the tin that you get with these gummies. It's pretty, it looks nice on your shelf or in your cupboard, and it really kind of adds to the ritual of taking it. I also love that once you already have the tin, you can just buy a refill sachet to replenish it. Now, the one downside of these is that they do contain a little bit amount of sugar, but I have two things to say on that. Firstly, it is a small amount of sugar, and the gummies also contain 2.1 grams of fiber per serving, so that will kind of balance out your body's response to the sugar. And secondly, I have heard a rumor that they are reformulating these to take out the sugar entirely, and I will definitely be trying them when they do that. Before we move on to our third supplement, let me just say that if you are interested in this concept of leveraging food as skincare, you want to download my free guide, Skincare Starts on Your Plate, the Jumpstart Guide. You can find it at my website, fionalawsonnutrition.com, and I will also pop the link in the video description box below for you. The third supplement on our list is Nuzest protein powder. I prefer to get most of my protein from real whole foods, so that's things like meat and fish and eggs and dairy and pulses and legumes and nuts and seeds. But I do think there is a place for supplementing with protein powder on top, and that's for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it is just a really easy way to eat more protein, and not only is adequate protein essential for regenerating your skin, but some animal research suggests that eating more protein can even increase your dermal thickness, which translates to smoother, plumper looking skin. And secondly, because protein is digested more slowly by your body, adding protein to your meals and snacks can help to regulate your blood sugar, which is essential for clear, glowing skin. And if you want to learn more about blood sugar and your skin specifically, you can check out this video. So I like this one, the Nuzest Clean Lean Protein. So it's a pea protein, and that means that unlike lots of whey-based proteins, this doesn't trigger my acne-prone skin. I also like Nuzest because they use a gentle water-based method to extract the protein from the peas, so this product is less processed than many that are on the market. My favourite way to use this is to actually cook with it or bake with it, and I make these delicious strawberry shortcake bites, which I grab as a higher protein, higher fibre snack when I'm running around after my children. It's not my recipe, it's a recipe from a blog, but I will pop it in the video description box below for you. I'll also use the protein to top up the protein content of the foods I'm already eating. So I will typically stir a scoop or two of this into Greek yogurt or porridge, or I've also used the unflavoured version and put it into soups. Now, no product or supplement is perfect, and I have to be honest and say that I don't love the stevia flavour that comes with the flavoured versions of Nuzest. So if you're sensitive to stevia like I am, this might not be the right one for you, but equally you could be totally fine with it. I've got used to it now, and I would say that I eat some of this in some guys pretty much every day. Moving on to our fourth supplement, and it's another gummy, which is Feel's Beauty Gummies. Now, full disclosure, I used to be on the editorial board of reviewers for Feel. That means I checked their content to make sure it was scientifically and nutritionally accurate, but I had nothing to do with their product development, and I'm no longer associated with them in any way. I'm just mentioning this product because I know it's an effective one. Now, these contain a few ingredients, but the one that's really of note is sodium hyaluronic, more commonly known as hyaluronic acid. We have some good data to suggest that consuming hyaluronic acid rather than putting it on your skin can help to smooth out wrinkles and boost your skin's hydration. This can be particularly helpful in your 30s and onwards, when your body's own natural production of hyaluronic acid starts to decline, and that's where I'm at. These are sugar-free and they have a berryish flavour, and if you're in the UK, it's kind of similar to the darkest fruit pastel. The one downside is that the dose per daily serving is 100 milligrams of hyaluronic acid, and we know from the research that the effective dose is 120 milligrams of hyaluronic acid per day. And again, like the Ancient and Brave Collagen, what that means in practice is that you'll probably just have to take it for a bit longer to start seeing the effects. But again, because they're so tasty and they're like sweets, that's not really going to be a problem. Now, Feel supplements are made in the UK, but they do ship internationally. But if you are in the US, then a good alternative, which is more readily available, is the Hum Nutrition Hyaluronic Acid Glow supplements. Now, these have a tangerine flavour, which isn't my favourite, but it's still nice, and they do have the evidence-based 120 milligrams of hyaluronic acid per serving. Before we get to our fourth supplement, let me just say that if you're finding this helpful or interesting, perhaps you would consider supporting me on Patreon. That is my space for sharing behind the scenes things like what I'm eating and the skincare I'm using. I'll pop the link in the video description box below for you, and if you do consider supporting me, thank you so much. Alright, we're on to our last supplement, which is Altrient's Liposomal Vitamin C. Now, I have put this one last, not because it's not effective, because it really is, but because it is probably the least tasty of all the ones mentioned in this video. However, it is still way more more fun than swallowing supplement capsules. So Altrient is a high-dosed, highly absorbable form of vitamin C. Altrient's own research suggests that taking this can boost your skin's firmness and elasticity in just 3 months and even reduce wrinkles by up to 13%. Now, when you consider that a prescription strength retinoid can reduce wrinkles by about 20%, that's a pretty impressive result. I will say, however, that those results involve taking 3 sachets of Altrient a day, and you would typically only take 1, otherwise it's going to get very expensive. I'd also say that we don't know much about the subjects in that study and whether their own diets were really low in vitamin C to begin with, so take the exact figures with a pinch of salt. Nevertheless, like collagen, this is one of those supplements that when people start taking it, they kind of don't go back. And personally, I find that if your skin is in a bit of a funk, so say it's looking really dull or perhaps even a bit red, taking Altrient can really help to lift it out of that. Now what you do is squeeze out the sachet into a glass of water, swill it around a bit and then down it. You don't taste the Altrient that much and it is a bit gloopy, but you do kind of get used to it. You know how wheatgrass shots were popular 20 years ago? This is kind of like a more high-tech version of that. You know it's good for you, so you get into the habit of doing it and then you actually start to enjoy the ritual. The main downside of this supplement is the price. It works out at about £50 a month if you're in the UK or $40 a month if you're in the US, so it is a real investment in your skin. But if you're in your 30s or older and you're noticing signs of aging and you do have the budget to spend, then it might be worth considering. Now in the US you can get Altrient, but it's more cost effective to get a brand called Lypo-Spheric. That's basically the same thing from the same lab, just sold under a different name. And I will pop the links to both in the video description box below for you. So finishing off with some practical tips. There we have it, the 5 supplements which are genuinely enjoyable to take and which will change your skin for the better. Now obviously you don't want or need to take all of these at once. Just choose the one that suits your main skin concern specifically. So perhaps hyaluronic acid for dry skin or collagen if you've got fine lines and wrinkles developing. Whichever one you choose, take the supplement daily, stick to it for at least 12 weeks or 3 months and take before and after selfies. The changes can be subtle and gradual, but you really notice them when they're side by side. And of course, it goes without saying that supplements should only ever supplement good diet and lifestyle habits. I literally have a video on how to eat for clear, youthful looking skin, which I will pop there for you. Thank you for watching until the very end.